to the Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Justice seems I say and possible. Say the 21 billion. Now yeah, can say a bit more recover no. Yes, I beka. No, they be MY in Sanka. Miss and ya asemu yabo. Hey, asemu yaba. Then I will catch the oh. Ya wan kan okura na wadada. Sir, the sum of 21 billion. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Kujato Black allergy say, this is the amount of money Ayira every Ghana books. Also among us saying and Ayira. Even though it nan one of the members for the ORA, the former Auditor General, Papa, your friend Yao Daniel Dominic, Ebeka say, a bit information on the banner chaff Sankwas, Nasebi evidence Papa Bieni. And he said, I don't know, when he said 21 billion US dollars, I come so better. And then the Deputy Attorney General, Justice, since I said, not possible. The Ghana Nibia, no, when I've been said, the inside Bible count 21 billion, and the frag from former Ghana, chrono. Oh, relax it. Relax it. Yeah, the very possible. Sam said, all right, is it all right in there? All right, will we get our money? Because the president is in a so which is which? But according to the Deputy Attorney General, just as soon say, or say, Onyaya, non comma more, but no catch them.
I don't think we should expect to recover that. And let me explain why. Like I said, these are complaints. And in normal life experience, someone can make an allegation of, say, that you've done something, you've stolen 10 million. Investigation may show that you stole actually more or less, or probably nothing at all. So let me give you an example. So if someone comes to say that a contract has been signed, okay, and the contract sum is 10 million cedis. Now, for maybe the construction of a school building at a particular place, what we found out in some of the investigative cases was that someone is aware of this contract, that it has been signed.
Right.
He goes to the site where the school is supposed to be built, and there's no school there. Now, the person is alarmed and says that, look, a contract of 10 million has been signed to build a school. 5 years down the line, there's no school there. So I believe 10 million has been stolen, right? But that is not stealing 10 million. It could be that the contract was signed, but no mobilization was given at all. It could also be that the money was paid in tranches and that only 1 million was paid and not the 10 million. So the investigation will reveal all this. That is why I believe that, and we found instances where this scenario that I've painted happened, which means that then it will reduce the amount. And indeed, we found other situations where the amount was a bit more than what the complaint contained.
I see.
Yeah.
So you're saying we've been given false hopes in this 21 billion that we were told that could be recovered from the oral?
No, I wouldn't describe it as false hope. I think the investigative committee was clear in the nature of their work. Yes. And they were not confused at all. They knew that what they were receiving were complaints.
True.
And they knew that such complaints, I mean, there were how many...
We were told how much we're going to get.
Yes, so based on the report, I mean, the compilation, the complaints that they compiled, they have given an estimate. But the committee members are aware that their report was subject to criminal or forensic investigation to confirm or refute some of the allegations therein. So I think the estimate that was given should be taken within the context of the fact that there will be further investigation which may confirm or refute some of the allegations.
So meaning what? We could get lesser than what we were told, the 21 billion?
Yes, that is what I mean.
Dominic Akutingi Ayine, also the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Onwani Bosuno. Papa said, oh, oral is oral. The entry was say. As it stands now, Oma uncover 22 million US dollars in tax evasion on drip transactions. And he Sikano Omuzo Mudibie, Kazena Yamagacha give to worry. Court order and say 2.4 billion. On it or say ACB entry. I'm say, so what are the jail terms? Are they doing jails? 22 million dollars in tax evasion. Are they doing jail? Hey, are they Nesika for no more Ghana? No. omo de bia omo beto omo sa sikani na wia ya che no ni ya ji sikani bi ana ya ji sikano no okọ yen ni ko wia bode ntempa na police for timi ko twan who shit said there wakoton ko ke but 1,000 kilos ane enti give to ware mu die yen nti sikai mo se omuntwe yen nti se omotwe 1 cedi 2 cedi ana 10 cedi afa die say ma retrieve $22 million but yen nti say people are doing jail yen say one the motto no amudi operating operation recover all loot, but you are also the attorney general, a minister for justice, so justice must be served, not just the money. Justice must be served. And the say it was what could say, yeah. Do you think Ghanaians are going to have that confidence in this administration again? I keep on reminding you guys, you politicians, say one is not the NDC, the new guys, the floating voters, the youth love. Lie. And yamo ane edomo. The message now modema say you can change situation, you arrest people that we keep on hearing. Say no move here or mind sika. Mobedi adia me back. That's the only thing we know. And the me say even John Dramani Mahama ne penasem. Because switch Ghana best switch. So switch it no onye de pa. We will switch that very day. And Operation Recover All Ora, one of the essential policies are Papa Neka so or the Ghana. If I'm telling us it will go bushing every IMF 3 billion per. Now on the certain nonsense conditions, then we'll be suffering. Yen the ordinary Ghanaian citizens, yena ye share as ye honour. Now ye bread 3 months near to a light beam, ye to water beam, ye think who ye employ a month for. Now say yanya amount for the same administration now. Almost now you call bankrupt. Almost Russia-Ukraine war. Almost COVID-19 then almost close to $20 billion US. Someone that has squandered that much. I could just 3 billion. Every IMF for a man is a shame and was yamra de mari and a yebre. Naza one timam ora na nyeduma man yisikano ansan jeli omo me mamo less than a year Andrew June na Ghana first at riot. No wonder say Abra Kevin Taylor Captain Smasher say so too OSP so the whole Ghanaian any Martin Kwe obia dan no e da go to OSP so. We will hate everybody who cannot fight against corruption. We will contest anybody who decide that obe edi omo we esikano obesa bo oh yebenya asem. Trust me, yebenya asem pa. But according to the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dominic Ayine, it says 22 million in tax.
If you take the 3 of us, that is the 3 offices, not the persons occupied. I mean, appointed to occupy the office.
Right.
And go back to our manifesto. That is the NDC 2024 manifesto. You realize that the economy was a central plank of our campaign.
Correct.
Because we had assessed the situation under the previous administration and come to the conclusion that the economy was not doing very well. And I'm sure with the benefit of hindsight, Ghanaians will agree that that assessment was right.
It wasn't your assessment.
Well,
ratings agencies,
right.
Fitch, Moody's, S&P, in 2022 had already given us a junk status.
Yeah, that is so.
In
that
ratings,
is so.
Never before.
Well, I mean, so basically what I'm saying is that, from the objective evidence on the ground, the economy was going to be a central part of the campaign, and it was a central part of the campaign. And you recall that between 2013 and 2016, when, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was president of this country, the issue of power, was, Dumso.
That's correct.
Was one of our Achilles heels. And that was one of the reasons why we were booted out of power. And of course, the man is wise enough to know that he will not repeat the same mistake, twice. And so the energy sector was also critical. And you remember when there was a leadership change in Parliament, and the justification that the party gave, that the economy and energy are critical, and therefore the Honorable Atuforsin, then as our ranking member on finance and economy, took over the leadership of Parliament, and then Kofi Amabua became the deputy leader of Parliament. And so the energy sector was a very critical aspect. And then, of course, accountability. Public sector corruption was also a key part of our, campaign. And then, tied to that was the famous Aura. Which we'll be talking about very soon. Yeah, right. So the Operation Recover All Loot became so popular with Ghanaians that the president thought that, giving the Attorney General that mandate, okay, having the energy minister or the Honorable, Jinapo, as part of the first, set of appointments, and the economy, was going to communicate to Ghanaians how central these three sectors were to his governance, in his second term. Right. And so it was so strategic, because we had to hit the road running. And if we had to hit the road running on all these fronts, it was these three that he wanted to start with.
Great. Economic transformation. A year on, inflation almost 24% at the time, has dropped to single digits, around 5%.
That is so.
The lowest since CPI rebase in 2021.
Yeah.
The currency has remained relatively stable. I have said I have my doubt if this is organic. And this has been consistent. There has been consistent supply of
foreign currency,
power as well.
Right.
Despite the initial fears that there were going to be problems. Ghanaians appear generally satisfied. What has been the contribution of your office to the economic miracle, so to speak, that the broader public, is so satisfied with the government about?
Well, law does not have such a direct connection to the economic performance of the country, but its contribution will be indirect. So, for instance, our department is in charge of the drafting of legislation, and so we take instructions from the MDAs, including the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana, to refashion the laws of the country in a manner that will inure to the benefit of the people of this country, or that will ensure that economic performance, is enhanced. And so, if you take the fiscal measures that have been introduced, all the bills were drafted by the Legislative Drafting Division, and then, of course, we always advise on how the bills can be.
That's different from the 2 million you had flagged.
Right, the $2 million US has also been flagged. Okay, so, and I'm going to pursue them for that $2 million because, it's very, very clear from our evidence that they were overpaid by $2 million. So I'm going to, in addition to the 22 that has been confirmed by GRA, I'm going to, pursue them for that.
Why shouldn't we take some of the explanations? J-Plan Pool, they suggest that this 2 million must have been a clerical error.
It wasn't a clerical error. It is very, very clear from the, okay, so we use the invoices. Okay, the invoices, we obtain the invoices from the Ministry of Finance, from the DACF, that is the Disassembly Common Fund,
right,
and from PPA, and compared all, the invoices we received, and that figure is confirmed by all the invoices. Okay, that they were overpaid by $2 million United States of American dollars. I will insist on that. I am considering either taking a civil action to recover or possibly bringing criminal prosecution, a criminal, prosecution against the company and its directors. All right. So on the tax front,
that sounds like a threat. You're threatening them.
I'm not threatening.
And using the fear of criminal prosecution
no.
to get them to hurry to pay.
Look, let me say something. Let me say this. All right. I can make the evidence available to Ghanaians, and every person who looks at the evidence will, confirm that what I'm saying is not a threat. I'm just simply putting out the objective facts. So, for instance, if I make available to you now the GRA letter confirming the 22 million, and I tell you that I'm going to collect it because that is my duty to make sure that there's accountability. So, it should not be seen as a threat to the company. All right. I can take civil action to collect it. I can also decide to prosecute them for criminal, misconduct.
Right.
Yes.
So now we understand that how you contribute to the economy.
Apart from that, we are doing offshore investigations. So I have foreign asset recovery companies, okay, or personnel that are helping me, experts that are helping me to trace assets abroad.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are doing that.
And you do them simultaneously with your investigations?
We are doing them simultaneously with our investigations.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So as
million Ghana dollars, me 22 million Ghana cedis rather in tax evasion on drip nkwano waje na ade kunkwia. Na ora na so na pese ye ora because baby eduru no ye ya pa ba NDC ni we say o wasem ka Dr. Manasseh Minta NDC stalwart or say no Ukrainian meaning we use ora as a propaganda tool in opposition because criminal prosecution is very tough. We must not even be able to finish a single case by the close of 2028. Like I know say onye appointee bia wo bia but we in this ni. Like are you serious? What's the use as a propaganda? The president is not repeating say a propaganda. The president says he have the full vim. Say all around we should just be patient. And then Yahoo a certain changes from the judiciary. A new chief justice. Yahoo the promotion of justices to the Supreme Court, to the appeals court, to the highest court. Yate how are you equipping Ghana police for a debate match? Court to be made the and you go through any now say any simulation as a propaganda. Kasewan cancer. Kasewan cancer. Ghana says, you are propaganda. So, my say, ya dream that so ya you know, yet mean kind of say, you are propaganda stage. What do you then propaganda? Master member Shema before no pen of a week. Member Shema before, what did they propaganda? Now, I hope and pray say, because I have not heard from the Attorney General and I have not heard from the Deputy. I have not heard from the President or anybody in the NDC or appointee. Maybe I now ukasa because maybe I ya ukakra maybe appointment me otwa nyanya. But pa say that's the reality. That's what NDC actually feel. Say prosecuting high financial cases heading. We know it's heading. But you can't be telling us you can do it. And then you get here you cannot do it. You will do it. You must do it.
If I just brought our attention to the government's performance, accountability, citing oral and thinking that, well, it's a bit slow, the results we expected for oral. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, that's true. From my point of view, I wrote extensively on this, even in your space. One of the articles I wrote on Joy was, the law is not a good market. Listen, and for me, it's a perennial problem with our type of politics. I'm blunt. I have to go straight. I speak my words in hard words. When we whet the appetite of Guineans, especially whilst we're in opposition and etc., and then make them believe that we have that magic wand, as soon as we come to power, we're going to jail people all around because they misappropriated our funds and etc., it creates the impression that we are already muscle, we are already flesh, we are already knowing everything that is handy for the process to be in effect. And so when we come to power, like you rightly said, the impression is that we're just going to throw people in jail and then recoup or recover money from there, here and there. But that is not how the legal process works. It grinds slowly. It takes time to even indict someone, even get to the discovery stage, martial actions, go into court, go to trial. It takes a whole lot of time. But you see, we created this impression in the minds of our supporters right there before we came to power. And now, a year into election, a year after elections, here we are. I don't know how many cases the AG has been able to prosecute effectively. They're going to court, we know. But the process is slow. And this, unfortunately, the average Ghanaian does not understand this. It is not just the NDC. It's both the MPP and the NDC. This has been going on. And so there should be a way we should sanitize this type of politicizing. When you find a problem whilst you're in opposition, don't make it a party propaganda. Don't make it a campaign message. I have a problem with that. And I have to be strong and bold to point at that the NDC failed in this regard. Okay. I am not happy about it. And if, like rightly the Minister of Foreign Affairs said, if oral fails, then NDC is too.
Chief Justice Paul Baffoe Bonnie, as a Mamufi, Dr. Minta Pate, I'm saying I didn't tell you. I say John Dramani Mahama, John Kwame Nkrumah, John Ababio, Ayine Stratino, so on instate a 24-hour court service. Said Abeya, you bet me a fast track aura. A case
Chat to the people when you were promising oral that, you know what, yes, we want speedy trials and convictions, but then there are some systemic issues which could delay convictions for a long period of time, and some cases could run longer than people expect, and so be patient.
We promise to put in place certain institutional mechanisms so that these cases will be fast. So we talk of the tribunal system, for instance, and the tribunal bill is in the works.
Right.
And if the tribunal bill passes through, it will definitely facilitate the process. Yeah, facilitate the process. And then the tribunal system will facilitate what is happening.
Right, I can hear you.
Yeah, the tribunal system will facilitate the process. And then apart from the tribunal system, we are in the process of having the afternoon courts as well, which I believe will kick off in a few weeks. We'll have the 24-hour court system where you have morning court and you have afternoon court. The Ghana Bar Association has agreed to that policy, and the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice, is going to announce how far that policy when the policy will start. So I believe when these processes and institutional changes are put in place, definitely we'll move faster than we are moving. But as it stands now, like I said, we are as fast as the system allows us to be, and indeed faster than any other system that we've had.
Let me get this. You're going to introduce the tribunals, and you have morning court, afternoon court as well.
Indeed.
And what role is the tribunals exactly going to play in this oral prosecution?
No, so the tribunal system, first of all, because they don't have any case load at the moment, a panel hearing a case will move faster than the usual court system. Then the afternoon court is going to open up another layer of court. So instead of having a court just hear cases in the morning and the rest of the day not being heard, we are going to have a situation where the court will hear cases in the morning and also hear cases in the afternoon, different judges coming in to be afternoon judges.
Right.
We believe that this will indeed facilitate the process. So let me just make the point that we promise the people we are going to move fast. We promise them certain institutional changes as well. These changes are in the works. And as I mentioned, they are coming to, they will start soon. And once they start, we believe that the speed that the people will expect will be met. But as it stands now, we have indeed moved. How many cases? I mentioned a number of over 10 cases right now involving deep investigations and trials.
I see. Now, would you be surprised if some of the cases that you are prosecuting now goes beyond 2028?
I wouldn't say no, Because in a criminal trial, like any other trial, things come up. Defense have their own defense strategy. The court system has its own, every judge has its own strategy, and prosecution has its own strategy. By our own estimation, the cases that are in works now should be over by the end of this year. If in any situation it happens that the case goes beyond that, it definitely would have to be something that we can contend with. But that is the nature of criminal trial. I mean,
It's not a walk in the park, yes.
No, it's never a walk in the park, and you cannot.
The threshold is high. Proof beyond reasonable doubt.
We are aware of that, and we take that into account.
Afe na ma home kakra. Nanka propaganda, nonsense propaganda na muke kan wasem no. Yeni abrese sika mo belje sika maya. Was say the propaganda. And the Chief Justice Paul Baffoe Bonnie, say John Dramani Mahama ni ndin komo. Waman the permission, waman go ahead. Say on so now on creating a fast track court that be operating as a 24-hour economy court. And the order for no 3 nande pa. Yabo wa go no straight oko. Oti pre ta. And straight. What do ho? Ube dem swache. Ube de obi no. And next time we are there, we put home. Eti papa ne say John Dramani Mahama egusu always ane ma no. Na ho say mo fast track court no. Minim se zabro no dem tia sense ane tie dia. Ese case ni mo be di rapidly me wa. Mama me say one case ni adjourn in the next 2 months. Another case ni start adjourn in the next 5-6 months. Because I remember say even at some point give to worry and admin say about dragging the feet na me home for me and your man first day. Esa ko biwa. Ya asa me home for me na judge say lawyer or catch your client and say or your bar the next meeting no or san kan tem so yare me bu asem ne na odi phone ne and me say okay now you time I want to be quite rough aja sikani o yi gold bar edit to a friends a live TV so mo bi ahwe na odi share the bag back ni go de and ka over that judge over that can answer now time I want to be e go do quarter first day on content as we say akwa why release kakra ye twinanu kanan the next day me sure say court the opera on on premier na time want to do ho I'm so this is how a person fast tracking him and he said Chief Justice Baffoe Bonnie say afa kura na John Dramani Mahama obeshemu kina and the fast track court no over started kai say that same fast track court no idea about dealing with Galamsey. The same fast track court will also deal with public servants who are more offices and the technocrats. On got all a desktop computer. Now almost 42,000 Ghana cedis. Across for now all the 42,000 monitor and also a monitor. System is in the capital and office use and idea. Ogas or the high production work view. I'm got typing because you see SL no one about and no 42,000 for desktop computer and monitor. And the John Dramani Mahama tie as a moya jam life amamna put this in modio matama and you must fast track court. And then Chief Justice Baffoe Bonnie ama me vim say ayeda ya ora operation recover olut ebe working papa your friend Dr. Manase Minta our NDC our gaga say omono yizulu we as a propaganda now I don't know any is no was at makasa me ka train and game people ni granka na nka hore bata unless now people is nyam farm yes I don't get it now according to the Attorney General and Minister for Justice Dominic Ayine it is a 22 million Ghana cedis in taxes have been uncovered in tax evasion on drip a transaction say also at the same time the deputy Justice Simsai as we say nkoma oni odie no e ba akopɛ o ma chance say 21 billion na ye koti no yensa nka siasika ni na but at least o ma yensa nka emro 70 to 80%. That's the only thing our Ghanaians will say okay we will consider say they do over 10 billion and not 10 billion we had the big push na the results ni in India then I can imagine another extra 10 billion or 15 billion US dollars. They bet my, and that must happen. And see, me hunto me also so hunto. For comment eto comment section na say the deputy chief justice ekai ofuaso say enikwaso monsatimika scanina me dey nka menfuaso money every single penny and san jelly omubi o support the same thing support mate or comment section na say we are subscribe like na share mo nua so enya bi ehwe edino e ba ko pe Maxi Billian I will naked truth Oldboga trends macro. Bye bye.